Welcome to the Songwriter Connection podcast, where we look at the craft of songwriting through the eyes of the songwriter. Each week, we make a connection with a music maker, listen to their songs, and hear their stories. From Nashville, Tennessee, here's your host, Dave Lenihan.
Welcome to another Wednesday Songwriter Connection podcast. We sure appreciate you being out there listening and spreading the word about us, liking and subscribing on YouTube or wherever you listen. And we do appreciate that. We're well over 200,000 downloads and streams and subscriptions all over the world. And you really make me feel great about that. I got the feels going on because of you. Our next guest this week, I'm so excited to have her back very early in season 1. I don't know, it might have been about the 10th or 12th show that we did. And it was during COVID. So we could only Zoom, but Olivia Francis is back. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Dave. It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
I've known you for so long, and I always called you Olivia.
That's right.
But let me brag on you a little bit. Olivia Francis is a multi-award-winning indie artist. Her infectious, positive energy and unique sunshine story pop. I talk about this all the time. I really do. I use you as an example. I don't know if you know this or not, but I always say I hate genres, right?
Yeah.
And I love the artist that creates their own genre. And I always use you as an example. Sunshine story pop defines you in such a great manner. Is that something you came up with, or did somebody assign that to you, or what? That's your thing.
I came up with it. Yeah, I really love kind of crafting fun ways to describe genres, because I think it does really put yourself in a box sometimes if you just label it as one thing.
I do too. I think so too.
I like to be creative.
Yeah. Then my friend Jamie Harris. Do you know Jamie? She's absolutely amazing folk. She calls it folk and roll, which I love.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. No, I'll have to check her out.
Yeah. She was on not too long ago for the second time. So good to have you back.
So great to be here.
You've been nuts since COVID. You never stopped for 1 second. No. You just kept it going, releasing new music, doing fun and exciting things like having your first magazine cover.
Yes, that was really a milestone.
Which one was that?
Worcester Magazine. Big shout out to them in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's where I went to college, and they've just been so supportive, and just the city of Worcester in general. Just so much love, and I'm sending lots of love to Worcester and the world. Yeah,
and you went to school up not too far, right? Clark University?
Clark University in Worcester. That's right. I had a great time.
Yeah, that's great. Wow. And then did I see not just one Grammy, but 2 Grammy noms this year?
2 Grammy considerations. That's correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Which songs were those?
That was for Wind Chimes and also Somebody's Reason.
Not too long ago, we had Cherie Spoltori from Global Songwriter Connection. It was just a great show.
I love
her.
And
she picked out a few of her artists that she's worked with over the years to, just showcase a little bit. And you're one of the ones that we talked about. And we played a little bit of Wind Chimes.
That is so special.
I'm hoping you're going to play the whole thing for us today, too. Because it's
absolutely.
one of Cherie and my favorite songs. It really is. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. Yeah. Why don't we start off with a song?
Absolutely.
Would that be a good one to start off with, you think?
Sure.
Yeah, because I want to hear the whole thing.
Yeah.
We just heard a portion on Cherie. So Olivia Francis is our return guest on the Songwriter Connection podcast. It's all yours, girl.
Thanks, Dave. I think about you on the other side. Wish you'd stayed longer in my life. The days pass by like bricks and stones, but I know where to go so I don't feel alone. I listen to the wind chimes as the breeze blows by. I can feel your spirit in the air. I listen to the wind chimes as I close my eyes. You're touching my heart like a prayer. Suddenly home back to summer days with you. We're sitting up on the front porch, swinging with the sky powder blue. You're telling me I can do anything I set my mind to. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I listen to the wind chimes. When chimes. Your leather watch is still keeping time. I play your records every night. You say if you need anything, just call. Now whenever it seems like I'm gonna fall, I listen to the wind chimes as the breeze blows by. I can feel your spirit in the air. I listen to the wind chimes as I close my eyes. You're touching my heart like a prayer. Suddenly I'm back to summer days with you. We're sitting up on the front porch, swinging with the sky, powder blue. You're telling me I can do anything I set my mind to. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I listen to the wind chimes. Wind chimes. And I feel so close to you. Oh, I feel so close to you. When I listen to the wind chimes as the breeze blows by, I can feel your spirit in the air. I listen to the wind chimes as I close my eyes. You're touching my heart like a prayer. Suddenly I'm back to summer days with you. We're sitting up on the front porch, swinging with the sky, powder blue. You're telling me I can do anything I set my mind to. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I listen to the wind chimes. Wind chimes. Yeah, listen to the wind chimes. Wind chimes.
It's an infectious melody. It really is. You just can't help but sing along. And I think John Lennon would be real proud of you for those well-placed sevens in there.
Oh, cool. Gosh. Well, thank you. I'm a big fan of him, that's for sure.
Olivia Francis is our guest. It's Frances, right?
That's correct.
Yes. And I've known her since she was about 12 years old when she first walked into NSAI in Cincinnati.
Yes.
I wasn't quite coordinator then when you first started coming in, but eventually I was. And we watched you grow. We watched you grow into an amazing artist. An amazing artist. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. It's amazing to just have, just to be part of each other's journeys and to watch how things have unfolded and how the music industry's changed and so many things. Just really
we need wonderful. To talk about all of that. But I want to talk about that song, Wind Chimes,
Absolutely.
A little bit first. And also, I want to tell you that this Friday, Olivia has got a new song coming out, and we're going to debut it right here, just a couple days ahead of the release. Thank you for letting us do that, by the way.
Absolutely.
So stick around, because we're going to do that. We're going to do that eventually. Yes. So tell us about Wind Chimes. Who wrote that? Did you write that with a co-writer? Or?
I did, yes. Uh-huh. I wrote that with Mike Asterkin. He lives here in Nashville.
Name? Yes. You guys have been writing for a long time, haven't you?
We have. We met in 2014 at the NSAI Song Camp.
Wow.
It was when I had taken my gap year. I just graduated high school. I moved to Nashville, was working at Barnes Noble Vanderbilt, and attended this songwriting conference. And I just had the best time and met Mike, and we just really connected and hit it off. And we've written about 70 songs together.
Have you really?
Since. Yes.
That's
yes,
incredible.
We have. Thank you.
There's a team for you right there.
Big shout out to him. And he's just such a great writer and team member, and just really grateful for our partnership.
You guys set up regular writes all the time?
We do. Yeah. It's funny. Actually, last year I was on tour so much that we kind of fell out of our regular sessions. But I think this year we'll try to hop back on or do something more regular. Because when I was in college, we were writing pretty much weekly.
No kidding.
On Skype or Zoom.
Skype or Zoom, right?
Yeah, right. Wow. And I know. And then things shift when you go on tour. It's harder to.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had a lot of ground to make up because there was all that time during COVID that you couldn't tour.
Exactly.
And there was a big demand for Olivia, so you had to get out there, didn't you?
Thank you, Dave. Yes. Last year, touring was such a blast. I toured more than I ever have in my whole life, organizing a spring, summer, and fall tour, all independently, all across the entire country from California to Massachusetts. Not necessarily, I didn't do a cross-country tour, but in different sections and different time periods. Yeah, it was wild, but it was so fun.
And you book yourself, right? You do the whole thing.
I am looking for a booking agent, so I will put that in the podcast. Awesome. I'm manifesting that.
There's probably a few that listen that would want to represent you. Yeah. So you just got back from Wyoming?
I did. I had a great time on stage in Cheyenne, Wyoming, ringing in the new year. I performed at the Ball Drop. It was a black tie affair, a soiree, and I had never performed on New Year's Eve before. So usually I'm in Florida with my mom watching TV, watching, New York with the Ball Drop. And this year she was with my brother and my grandparents, and I went off to Wyoming, and my gosh, I was honored that they asked me to play.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Very neat. Yeah. I love that. Love that story. Getting back to Wind Chimes, because we always like to go through the process of how it was written.
Of course.
And you guys wrote it together. One of the 70 songs you've written.
That's right.
Do you remember how it all came together?
I do. So I love writing songs about nature. I'm really inspired by the beauty of the world around us. And I actually majored in environmental studies in college with a minor in music. And so anytime I have a co-write and the spotlight's on me, to write for me versus, let's say, the other artist in the writing session, I try to have something involved with nature in some way. And so Mike had the title Wind Chimes in his back pocket, and he pitched it out. And around that time, actually, my grandfather had just passed away.
Oh, no.
And so I know it was kind of a long time coming, but he lived a great, wonderful life. But of course, in the beginning of the song, I talk about, I wish I could have spent more time with you and everything like that. But
so it was really, from your point of view, it was really about Grandpa, huh?
It really was. And I feel like every time I sing that song, I feel like I'm honoring him, and I always think about him. I always know that he's still here with us.
So
and
awesome.
I mean, even when the song came out, it got like 14,000 streams in the first week of being out, which has never happened for me. And it was just one of those things where I just, wanted to wink at my grandpa, like, thanks, Grandpa.
So it's out there. People can download it, listen. Spotify, everywhere you find music, right?
Everywhere you find music, it's there.
And you also have a great website, too.
Thank you. Yeah. So glad you like it.
Yeah. OliviaFrancisMusic.com, right?
That's right.
Yep. Find her. Find her. You will love her. We all do.
Oh,
and
shucks.
The way you command an audience, we had you at 12 Keys where I do a writer's round not too long ago.
That was so
fun. And you've played a few times, and I just remember people going, who's that? That's Olivia Francis. Oh, really?
Oh, my gosh.
People fall in love with you instantly. I think it's your persona, your music. It's so joyful and happy. And I made the comment on the last episode. I was into it this morning as I was working out, and I made a comment. Even your sad songs have a happy.
It is interesting though, because I feel like a few years ago, and even just more past recently, like I had these happier songs, which I still totally have. Actually, I have some co-writers who will come to me when they want to write a happy song, because they know that that's something that I can do. And a lot of songwriters, just focus on sad songs, which of course we really need sad songs and happy songs. We need them all.
We do.
But it's interesting because I feel like this new era of 2023 that we're moving into, like the songs I'm releasing, they're not necessarily happy, but they're not necessarily sad. They're more just like reflective and kind of like songs about life. And it's just interesting.
That's part of the process of growing as a songwriter?
I think it is. Yeah. I think I really like watching, other artists' careers, especially successful artists. And Casey Musgraves is one of my favorite, all-time favorite artists. And it was so interesting to see her go from her album Pageant Material, which I loved so much. I mean, I loved Merry Go Round and like Same Trailer, Different Park, which was her first record. Yeah. But then the way that she made that really daring dive with Golden Hour, with all those new sounds and just sonically, like, it was so beautiful, but it was different for her from pageant material. And I feel like as an artist, you do have to kind of always think about, okay, how am I going to do things differently, but still be true to myself, you know? And she just did that so gracefully. So I definitely want to follow in her footsteps.
So how has Olivia changed in the last couple of years?
I mean, I think that the pandemic, you know, it was really a hard time, and it was hard for everybody. And I think it just like tainted the world a bit. And also just growing up, you know, you see things, you hear about things that are just sadder and harder, and you're processing so much. And, you know, spending time alone during the pandemic, I think something I learned, and I know this is about Breathing Room, which we'll play at the end, but my coping mechanism when I'm really stressed or I'm sad is like to overschedule myself and to be really, really busy and like stress myself out. And so during the pandemic, like I would book like 2 or 3 writes a day. Like I would work and then just write. And it just like was kind of madness.
Work your way out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't have to like think about the reality of the pandemic, you know?
That's interesting.
So Breathing Room is really about taking time to just relax and like find time to breathe. And I meditate every day. So that's become a really big part of my life and my lifestyle. And it helps me just feel really centered and aligned. So that's I feel like that song is reflective of like the pandemic times, and also just people feeling so stressed. Like life is stressful, you know?
It is. It is.
It is.
I don't care. It just is. And it's just a part of life, and how you cope with it, I think is, and you do through your music, don't you?
I do.
And
I really do. It's so therapeutic. Yeah. And I've also become more aware of being like, okay, you know what? Instead of overscheduling myself, I'm going to take time for myself to, you know, just read a book or like talk to a friend or whatever it is. So it's definitely a lesson that I learned.
So you enjoy reading?
I do.
As well as writing?
I do. Yes. I know. I'm just reading a book right now. I just started it. And it's about the hidden language of trees and how trees can talk to each other through their root system. Wow. Which is so fascinating. And if like one of them needs water, the rest of them around it will give them water through their roots. And
no kidding.
It's so interesting. I'm just in the very beginning of it, but
you're going to write a song about that, I'll bet.
Oh, I think so.
I bet you will. I can hear I can
trees
see
can talk. Actually, I think I have that in my hook book as like some sort of title idea. Yeah.
I love it. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
How about you share another song with us?
Yes, absolutely.
You've got a new one that you've been strumming on, and I'm just dying to hear the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I know. I'm a little nervous to play this new one because I've never really played it out much before. But I'm gonna just try it. Why not? And
is it in a different tuning, or you just?
I'm just double checking.
Just double checking my tuning.
Double checking.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good.
All right. She's playing my guitar. Thank you for doing that.
I am. Thank you for letting me your guitar.
Well.
That's so sweet. Yeah, this song I just wrote a few weeks ago, so it's brand new. It's
great.
A solo write.
It's called Cardinal.
It's called Cardinal.
Wow.
Yes. All right. When all is still and the world's waking up, you'll come around on that oak tree by my window. Sit on a branch and stare at me. Your presence like a dream, calming and easy. Oh, can you teach me? Cardinal, cardinal, which direction are you flying? Do you have a compass telling you where to go? Cardinal, cardinal, when I see you I wonder, do you fly toward or fly away from your problems? Or are you like me, still unsure how to solve them? Cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh. Your vibrant hue, like the color of my lipstick I took off last night when I came home crying. They say you carry good fortune. I'll believe it. I need supporting. My heart's been hurting, but I'm comforted by your chirping. Cardinal, cardinal, which direction are you flying? Do you have a compass telling you where to go? Cardinal, cardinal, when I see you I wonder, do you fly toward or fly away from your problems? Or are you like me, still unsure how to solve them? Cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh. Cardinal, cardinal, which direction are you flying? Do you have a compass telling you where to go? Cardinal, cardinal, when I see you I wonder, do you fly toward or fly away from your problems? Or are you like me, still unsure how to solve them? Cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, cardinal, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Cardinal's such a magical bird, too. You know?
Really is.
We love cardinals. They say when you see a cardinal visiting, it could be, someone from the great beyond, just, nodding, saying, I'm here, I'm watching over you,
Totally.
I saw an amazing story on one of the Netflix shows where the mother was dying in her last days. And she said, I'm always going to be with you. I'll send you a sign if I can. And the daughter said, send me a cardinal. And they were living in California, and it's not really native to Cardinals.
Right.
And shortly thereafter, this cardinal shows up to the two sisters.
Yeah.
And they were holding it and everything and taking videos. And they put it up into a tree.
Wow.
And that cardinal flew right back on her shoulder. And she's like, I just knew it was my mom, sending that message to me. Isn't that an amazing story?
It's so amazing. I've been really into animal symbolism lately. Like, I don't know. I mean, people can probably tell I'm a little woo-woo sometimes.
Yeah.
But, I feel like every animal, when you see them, whether it's a bird or reptile or whatnot, like, can be symbolic for something. And I love looking up, like, the meaning behind a cardinal. I woke up one morning, and I usually like to sleep in on Saturdays, but like for whatever reason, I woke up before my alarm went off, which is pretty unusual for me.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. And I looked out my window and there was the cardinal, and I had seen it a few days beforehand, like multiple times. And it was just like looking at me and just kind of hanging out. And I just got really emotional, and this song just flowed to me, just poured out. And I had to write it down, and I had the whole melody and everything, and I like wrote it all, and then I got my guitar and started playing some chords. And it's really a song about feeling lost. And I think it's such a common thing, but people don't really like to admit it. Like feeling lost, whether it's like, should I stay with this person I'm dating or not? Should I stay with this job that I don't like or not? Should I keep doing what I'm doing, or like start this business that I've really wanted to start, but it entails a lot of risk, or move somewhere new, or you just all these questions and you're like, I don't know. And so I feel like that's kind of the core of this song. And I've just posted a little clip to TikTok, and it did pretty well. So I feel like it's relatable to people.
It's great.
Thanks.
I'm trying to learn TikTok.
Oh, I'm happy to help you.
I'm about to decide that I'm too old for this stuff.
You can do it, Dave. I believe in you. You can do anything.
Oh, well, you put your mind to it, right?
Exactly. And your amazing song, Squirrel Train. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So great.
Yeah, number one in Tasmania. Isn't that crazy?
That's huge. I have to give you a round of applause. Seriously.
We're planning the Australian
Something to celebrate.
tour.
Oh,
yeah.
good. As you should.
Right? Yeah.
You should.
Which is winter down there, so I better plan it when it's winter here so we can visit summer there. Anyways.
Gotta go there. Oh my gosh. Paparazzi's going to be all over you. So get ready.
It's happening already. It's just people out there in the bushes hiding in. They're waiting to meet Olivia Francis is what it is. Yeah. So. You've got a busy summer ahead of you and spring, and I want to talk about some of the exciting things that you've got going on.
Sure.
Where do you want to start?
Let's see, we can start at just in a few short weeks. I'm going to Folk Alliance in Kansas City,
so cool.
which I'm pumped for. I think it'll be my 6th Folk Alliance.
Really?
Yes. So I've really enjoyed going. There's people from all over the world who come and, perform and attend the workshops, and it's just such a great networking opportunity.
Oh, I bet.
I haven't necessarily seen that much of Kansas City because it's an all-encompassing conference where you're literally just in the conference center the entire time. There's so much to do. It's pretty overwhelming. I think there's usually 5,000 people there.
Wow.
So it's huge.
That's crazy.
Right. And so I'll be showcasing there, which I'm really looking forward to, and just excited to see old friends, meet new friends, and just everybody from the folk world.
It sounds
really
exciting.
just,
so much fun. So when you showcase, what's involved in that? Tell us.
Oh my goodness. So it's just so cool. Basically, picture this, a hotel, and 4 or 5 of the floors in the hotel have a different singer-songwriter musician performing every single second, at nighttime from 10 p.m. to 1 p.m. There's about 50 showcases going on at one time, and they push the beds out of the rooms. And so you'll walk down a hotel hallway, and every single room there's someone performing, and you'll look over, and it's just the best thing.
Wonderful. Yeah.
It's just wild.
So what a thrill, because not everybody gets a chance to showcase, do they?
Not everybody gets a chance to showcase, but this year I'll be showcasing in the Music Bin room. Forget what room number that is, but it's all in the Folk Alliance pamphlet and everything.
Have you ever played the Kerrville Folk Festival?
I haven't, but I would love to. It's on my bucket list. I've never been to Kerrville, so maybe this year I could go take a peek. Have you been?
I haven't, but on this show we've had 2 past winners.
Oh my gosh!
So,
wow.
You know what? Maybe now they're thinking maybe 3. I know Efren White for sure won.
Yes.
I think Shanna in a dress.
Yes.
Have you met her?
I have. We're rooming together at Folk Alliance.
Oh, are you good? That's wonderful.
She's so sweet.
I'd love to see you two get together and write a song.
We're planning on it. Actually, we're literally in the process of planning a co-write right now.
Check out Shannon Dress. She's an amazing performer as well. And we did a podcast with her. If you look at past podcasts, you'll find Shannon.
Oh my gosh.
I love how she's got her friends. Her fans are fan of Shanna's.
Yeah.
And you've got a very cute name for your fans too.
Francis Friends.
Francis Friends. I love it.
Thanks, Dave.
All part of that, DIY artists, which I have so much respect for. What you do is absolutely, and it's a lot of hard work. People don't realize.
It really is. It's just, there's so many layers to it. It's
there is.
Just in terms of, there's booking a show, and then there's practicing for the show, and making sure people go out, and the marketing of it, and the promotion of it, and song
and the
releases.
Socials will take up a lot of your time.
Yeah, you have to be your own social media marketer, and also your own copywriter, lawyer sometimes.
It's a full-time job.
Admin, it really is.
Admin, that's right. You got to register the songs and where you played them, because you get royalties on those.
Exactly. Set lists. You want to definitely register your set list too,
Absolutely.
which sometimes can be tricky, because sometimes if I'll play a venue, it can be difficult to figure out are they registered with BMI or not.
Yeah.
But that's another rabbit hole.
That is another rabbit hole. You register them all. Yeah. So. That's very cool. You've got a new release one of the things that we talked about, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit.
Yes.
You have a song coming out Friday, which we're going to debut here in just a little bit.
Wow.
But you were telling me already you're talking about the one after that and the one after that. So the in thing today, from what I'm understanding, is, especially for the DIY artist, is to post about every other month a new song.
That's right.
And I'm trying to come to grasp with that. And maybe you can explain a little bit more of why that is, because, I come from the radio industry, and it took a while for a song to climb up the charts. And it seemed the thing that doesn't seem to make sense to me, but I'm sure you're going to straighten me out, is that it seems like you don't give the song enough chance to build an audience. And then you got another one out,
Sure.
But I'm sure there's an advantage to it, right?
Yeah, I think the whole idea behind the format of releasing a song every 6 to 8 weeks is because so many of us have very short attention spans. And as you know, a squirrel train.
The squirrel. Who let the squirrel in here? Yeah.
Very thematic.
Yeah.
And so the concept is you release something every 8 weeks, and that kind of creates not only momentum for, oh my gosh, can't wait for her next song, but then people do have like a few weeks to sit and listen to that song before the next one comes out. And you always have momentum being built instead of like, I have a song out and like no other plans for anything else next. Consistency is key, especially with social media, even just social media posting, like to post every day or every other day. And so that kind of shows you're showing up for your audience. And, you know, people just, they eat music up. And I think too, when it comes to TikTok, which has really changed the game for music, I think people are really trying to just throw whatever they can against a wall and kind of see what sticks.
Hopefully something sticks. Something goes viral maybe, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another aspect of it too is the Spotify algorithm kind of like eats up music. So Spotify wants you to be consistent too, because I think there's something along the lines of like, if you release music consistently, perhaps you're more likely to get on a Spotify editorial playlist because you'll have more monthly listeners. And there's kind of a variety of reasons that people do it. But I would say from an artist standpoint, like last year I released 3 songs, so almost 1 a quarter. And it is even that, like, it's a lot, you know? So I feel like doing every 8 weeks, which I'm going to try to do this year.
It's a good goal.
It's a good goal. It's like, if you don't get that goal, it's okay. If you do it every 10 weeks, you know, the world's not going to end, right? But I think it's good to do, and I'm going to try it. And I already can tell that, it's going to be like, you know,
you seem excited about it.
Yeah. Kind of like you're running a race, but it'll be the good kind.
Well, that's cool. Very cool. Well, I want to take a little break. When we come back, we got another song.
Yes, that's right.
And eventually, we're going to hear the new one from Olivia.
That's right.
Don't go away.
You're listening to the Songwriter Connection, connecting with music makers and hearing their songs and stories. Now back to the show with your host, Dave Linehan.
Hey, we're back with Olivia Francis. Olivia in the dining room, playing music live around the dining room table like we love to do. Yeah.
This is so sweet.
It's good to catch up with you
your
again.
Dining room has great vibes.
You know, we're so blessed. We really
does.
are.
I love that picture over there.
Thank you.
Castle.
Yes, this is the French room. My brother lived in France for a couple of years, and we got to go visit him. And that's one of the chateaus. That's Chateau Amboise. Wow. And what I love about that is Leonardo da Vinci is buried there.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got my picture taken next to his, marker. So
art everywhere you look.
Yeah. So we tried to be.
Great.
Yeah. So everything in here is French, just about, except for the piece on
there's
it.
the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, we got the Eiffel Tower.
Thematic.
Yeah,
so fun.
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome. Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
We were just surprised by the great acoustics in this room.
So super great.
I said, hey, we got to do a podcast or something. Got to.
I love your setup. It works so well. You own it. So awesome.
Hey, I'm having fun. I'm having a blast.
Me too.
You've got a song coming out this summer that you wrote with my good friend Bill DeLuigi.
Yes, and Mike Rhodes as well.
And Mike Rhodes.
Yes.
Wow. Now that's a combination. That's a good, he's a great songwriter. He's been on the podcast too, so you can look that up.
Oh my gosh,
really neat guy.
It's funny because Cherie, I think, basically Mike was the one who asked Bill and I if we'd like to write together. So it was, three-way write. And I had never written with Mike before, but I had written with Bill in the past. And the three of us just really fudged together well. And and it's funny because Mike lives in Denver, and when I go to Wyoming, I fly into Denver. And so I'm hoping to have some shows there this summer, and it's just great that he's, into that scene and whatnot. So
it's a big scene out there too, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I'm just kind of dipping my toes into Denver right now. But
that's awesome.
Hopefully more to come.
More to come. Yeah. And you played a lot in Wyoming.
I do. Yes. Shout out to Ty Warner.
Ty Warner, great guy. Yeah.
Great guy. He brings me out there, and he's my operations officer, as I like to call him. He does
really?
A lot of the logistics, and
he's a good songwriter himself too.
He is. Yeah. We have a song coming out too. I want to plug. That's also going to be around February or March. That we wrote together.
That you wrote together. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now this the one you wrote with Bill and Mike. Is that one you can play for us?
That one.
Because it's just still too new.
Yeah, I would say too new, but that one, it's called Where the Sharks Swim, and it's really for Shark Week.
Well, we'll save it for Shark Week.
I'm hoping that something
maybe you get a sync deal
happens.
with it for Shark Week.
Who knows? It's a wild one for sure.
That's awesome.
pumped to share with everybody.
You have to share that with me eventually.
Yes.
Eventually. There's you do have a newer song called Labyrinth that's out there that I've been listening to on Spotify.
You.
And tell us about that one, and maybe you can play that one for us.
Yes, of course. So I wrote Labyrinth with the talented Jason Hunt. Jason and I actually met when I was living up in Massachusetts. We met at the NSAI Boston chapter.
Wow.
And Jason had lived in Nashville in like the early 90s, and we had some mutual friends. And then he actually moved down here, so he lives here now, back down here with his wife.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was just a really special song to write. I had like a spiritual experience at a labyrinth in Chautauqua, New York, and wanted to write about how labyrinths really reflect life in a lot of ways, just the way that they're circles and you go around and around. And I just saw similarities. And I had been wanting to write a song called Labyrinth, and I remember I threw it out during several co-writing sessions, and it was kind of like, no, not today, but Jason and I, he was like, yeah, let's do it. And we did. And the song has... I'm so happy it's out, and it's currently on this A-Break music playlist at number 22, which is this industry playlist on Spotify. And so shout out to A-Break for accepting my submission and having me on their chart.
That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun to play, and I did a whole Labyrinth tour, and I love labyrinths in general. I like to seek them out.
In Chautauqua, where I spent a lot of time as a little kid. We had a cabin up there, so we'd go up to Chautauqua a lot. Beautiful area.
So cool.
And
it's so beautiful.
You worked there for a while, didn't you? Like a summer?
I did. My grandparents have a house there, and so I usually go there in the summers, actually.
Nice. It's a beautiful area.
It really is.
In Western
so
New York.
Peaceful, and just I love Chautauqua Lake and all the woods, and especially in the summer, it's just serene.
Chautauqua, it's really a lifestyle. It's just an amazing place. There's a place up in, and I think you've played up around Cedar Point, right?
Yes, I have.
A place called Lakeside, which calls themselves a Chautauqua. It's kind of a mini Chautauqua.
That's so cool.
Yeah, same thing. So, and when you talk about Labyrinth, I can remember, again, we were talking about France. One time we were there, we visited this Cathedral Chart, it started to be built, and it spelled like charts. I can't do the French pronunciation, but they started building this thing in like first century. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's that old. It's beautiful. It's standing, and they have a labyrinth that people would come in and get down on their knees and pray around it until their knees bled all the way around that labyrinth as they went. So yeah, labyrinth.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, I was reading a book about labyrinths, and one of the methods that you can use, no problem, is like ask a question and like go in and then maybe come out with an answer. Like try to listen and just listen to your heart and tune in. And so that's one way to walk a labyrinth. And then another is just like to maybe have some sort of mantra that you say over and over again, and you really like let it sink in. Maybe it's something that you're struggling with or something you want to achieve. And I think it's a spiritual tool.
Yeah.
And it's so old. I mean, it was used as entertainment, a game, and
to pray.
Yes, to pray, exactly. So it has many uses.
Wow, it speaks to you. Well,
Does.
speak to us through this song. This is called Labyrinth. It's Olivia Francis is our guest today on the Songwriter Connection podcast. This song's out there too on Spotify. Spin it.
Yes, it is. Thanks, Dave. When I was just a child, always running wild, Grandma taught me a little game. We'd gather rocks and lay them down. The path we made went round and round. Right in the middle stood an old oak tree. Grandma smiled and she said to me, life is like a labyrinth, a circle made of stones. One way in, one way out, and only one way home. Mysterious and magic, beautiful and tragic, like the hands of time you go round and round again. Oh, life is like a labyrinth. sang their songs till one day I was grown, when true love spun me around. He came with sparks and velvet skin, lit my life, but in the end I had to follow my own path. I know with time this pain will pass, this pain will pass. Life is like a labyrinth, a circle made of stones. One way in, one way out, and only one way home. Mysterious and magic, beautiful and tragic, like the hands of time you go round and round again. Oh, life is like a labyrinth. Ooh. A circle made of stones. One way in, one way out, and only one way home. Mysterious and magic, beautiful and tragic, like the hands of time you go round and round again. Like the hands of time you go round and round again. Oh, life is like a labyrinth. Oh, life is like a labyrinth.
Hard to argue with that logic there. Great song. Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Streaming on all platforms right now, Spotify including. To quote one of your other songs, do you know how wonderful you are?
Oh.
And she's playing around the dining room table today. We certainly appreciate that. You know, I was looking at some of the quotes here from your bio, and this one really hit me. Mikey Shake, is that his name? From WEMF Radio in Boston, Massachusetts. Big radio town there. Olivia's music is the real deal. Well, I have to agree with you, Mikey. Appealing, immediately appealing. Honest, fresh, amazing. So that's a pretty good quote. That's
Gosh,
awesome.
He sent that to me. I was definitely in stitches.
You laughed at that.
Oh, that was so sweet.
Yeah,
Very sweet of
you
him.
really are. You are wonderful. So what else this summer? Touring? You want to do more festivals, I remember you said?
Yeah, so my goals, so last year, as I mentioned, I was on tour a lot, playing mostly like my own gigs kind of thing, but this year I want to play more festivals and be an opening act more. So
oh, cool. And you've opened for some pretty neat acts over the years, haven't you?
Thank you.
Drop some names.
Yes. Let's see. I just did a show with Steve Saunders in Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's see. I opened for Proxima Prada over the summer, and they just had a song blow up on TikTok, which was wild.
Wow.
It's like, I don't know. They got like 1 million monthly listeners overnight because the video that popped off for them got 15 million views. Yeah.
There's some money.
The power of TikTok, right?
Ka-ching.
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, and I just am excited to expand my horizons and perhaps do maybe a little less shows this year, but more focused on festivals and opening acts.
That would be great.
More tailored.
You do the home shows too, the home concerts, don't you?
You mean in Cincinnati?
All around, right?
All around. Yeah. And I do So Far Sounds concerts as well. Those are really fun. What
are those called?
They're called So Far Sounds.
So Far Sounds.
Yeah, and it's basically intimate concerts in kind of random spaces. So I performed like a barber shop, and they like pushed all the chairs away or set up the chairs in like a concert style. And
I had not heard that word. So
Far. SOFAR. So Far Sounds.
So Far.
Yeah, okay. And I performed in Worcester at a rowing facility. That was cool. They moved the tables and chairs, and then they did one at a park. And So Far Sounds, it's like an international music organization, and they have all these different cities where they have So Far shows, and people come. The whole premise is audience members want to listen to music.
Yeah, they do.
Maybe they don't want to go to a bar where, they have to listen where everyone's talking over the artist, let's say, or something like that. So it's a listening room. So they go, they don't know who they're seeing. And usually there's 3 indie artists performing.
Nice.
And people show up and they want to listen. And it's so fun. I actually did one with Stella Prince in Worcester.
Oh, how about that?
In
She's
August.
moving here to town, too.
She's moving here to
Yes,
town, and she's a GSC member. So
Yes, she
shout out
is.
to Stella. She's so
sweetie.
talented. Yeah, we shared the stage together, which was great, and she's incredible. So
Oh, I wonder if her ears are burning right now.
right, I'm sure they are.
I just chatted with her last week. She was telling me how she was going to move to town.
Wow,
And so
it's a big
that's
deal.
exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to write with her because I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Yes,
Amazing artist.
she is.
Yeah, and so young. Oh,
So young. I know.
absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing.
So far shows. And the in the house concerts too, it really is a thing. And in that intimate atmosphere, and you go into people's homes, and you always feel kind of, but every time I've done it, they make you feel so at home.
They do.
and they listen,
Yeah.
and seem so appreciative. So
Exactly.
I'd like to do more of that too.
Yes, yeah, it's so nice to have an audience like that. They're there to listen, and that, and I mean, don't get me wrong, playing bars, it's also so fun. I think it's just, it's nice to have a variety of different types of performances to rely on.
Yeah.
And they all have their own vibe, and it's just, I mean, I love performing no matter where
I
or
know, it
when.
shows too. Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Steve.
I remember a showcase a few years back. You had, I think it was the Orchid album when it was released
Yes, at the local.
at the local, and it was
Oh my
great.
gosh.
And it was the first time I'd seen you perform in a while. And you pulled out you played your electric guitar that night.
I
Then You played
did.
ukulele, and you played your.
did. Wow.
You just showcased your talents, girl. And we
Thank
sat
you.
there, jaws dropped. My gosh,
Oh, I know. It's so funny. That feels like so long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, 2019 just feels like a whole
I know.
different lifetime in some
anything
ways.
BC, anything
I
before
know.
COVID. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it
But
is
thank you for
absolutely crazy.
coming to that. That was
Yeah,
great. And
that
I'm
was awesome.
definitely going to have
Wouldn't
another
missed it.
band show this
Good.
year, or maybe multiple. We'll see.
You better let me know when.
Definitely in the spring. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, this new song that you're releasing on Friday,
Yes.
we talked a little bit about it. Breathing Room.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Tell me all about it. Who'd you write it with,
Sure.
and the
Yeah.
concept, everything? We're going to
Yeah.
debut it here on the Songwriter
Oh my
Connection
goodness.
podcast.
Thank you for doing that. It's
Well,
so
thank you for
exciting.
allowing me to debut your song.
Oh, of
That doesn't
course.
come out till Friday.
That's right. So I wrote Breathing Room with my friend Margie Hauser, a fellow Cincinnatian,
Yeah.
actually. Yes.
Love it.
She went to Ursuline Academy, my high school.
You did too, right?
Yes, that's right. And she's an alum. We didn't graduate the same year. She's older than me. But anyway, she's just so wonderful, great writer. We connected, and she kind of bounces. She's very much like involved in the LA music scene, and she's
Wow.
done TV and film, and has definitely some credits to her name. It's awesome, and I just love working with her. And basically, we wrote Breathing Room in October of 2020. We had dinner, and then we both drove our cars to Home, Helping Our Musicians Evolve, which is like a music collective in Nashville.
Yeah.
And so we wrote there actually, and on the way to the writing session, I was looking at my different hook ideas, and Breathing Room was something I had written down, but I didn't have a melody or anything. And I just started kind of singing the chorus. And one thing I love with writing with Margie is she's very much into pop writing. And so she's very into simpleness of a song. And I love that because I think sometimes it's so easy to make a song very wordy, but then when I was performing in Cheyenne, Wyoming, for New Year's, I had to learn, Have You Ever Seen the Rain by CCR, of
Yeah.
course, and listen to the music. And you listen to the songs, and it's the chorus is literally, whoa, whoa, listen to the music, whoa, whoa, listen to the music, whoa, and it's it's simple, right?
Oh, the Doobie Brothers listen to the music.
The different, yeah.
that's right. Okay.
Doobie
Yeah.
Brothers, that's
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Yeah, and so sometimes it just, you realize that some of the great songs are simple, but it's hard to do that. I feel like for me, I'm a person that likes to be wordy. But basically, Margie, she is all about keeping it simple, which I love. And so the song just kind of came out of us, and we finished it. And honestly, when we had finished it, I wasn't sure if it was for me, because sometimes I'll write a song and just not sure if it's really mine yet. But then as time grew on, we actually pitched it. This is kind of wild. We pitched it to other artists, specifically in LA. And there was this one music executive, like high up, whatever. And he like loved the song.
Wow.
And he had this artist have it on hold for the song was on hold for a while.
Wow.
And then the artist decided to go more of like a punk route sonically and like didn't cut it. But I was like, like if it's really getting that validation, and I just was like, I think I should release it,
Yeah.
So I think I've kind of grown into it. I think if I had released it in 2020, I don't know if I would have been like ready to release it then. I think that it's interesting. Some songs you kind of grow into them, or they grow into you, or something like that over time.
Absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward. I also had wanted to release this song in the winter because I think it's a really wintry song.
Yeah.
I think certain songs have like seasons where they shine most. And so I'm really looking forward to it coming out on February 24th.
All right. Well, let's give it a listen now. So happy
Yes.
to debut the new Olivia Francis song, Breathing Room, here on the Songwriter Connection podcast. Here it is. This is the produced version.
Thanks, Steve. I keep choking, but I'm coping. Lift the weight up off my chest. See me skating, but I'm breaking from this crazy kind of stress. Is this just how it's gonna be for me? I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. Peace and quiet, wanna find it when I sit here all alone. But my head spins like a yo-yo, 'cause my mind won't let it go. Is this just how it's gonna be for me? I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. Serenity, wash over me. Serenity, bring hope to me. Serenity, be a friend to me. Serenity, don't let me down. I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through. I could use some breathing room, wash over me, to get me through, wash over me, to get me through, wash over me. I could use some breathing room to get me through, to get me through.
Olivia Francis, there you have it. The song is releasing on Friday, and I think it's going to do wonders. I'm telling you, that's a great song. It really
Thanks,
is.
Dave.
And I hear a different side to you. Again, you've grown, and this is like a whole new level for you. Yeah,
I feel it. I feel like, pulling back the next page to 2023. We're here now, and I'm excited to have
Here
this
and
new
now,
sonic
baby.
sound. Yeah.
Yes, it's a new sonic sound. New producer?
New producer. His name's Scott Griffin, and he's
Here in Nashville?
fantastic. He's in Nashville. He's a homie. Got connected to him through Home, the music collective, and
Right.
yeah, I have just had a great time working with him. He just is like a wizard on the computer.
Wow. Yeah.
It's insane
And you
to
have
watch
to be
him
today.
Yes, exactly. And he's really creative with the different sounds that he finds, and he just works his magic. And yeah, I'm excited to have worked with him and grateful.
It's definitely magical. And I hope folks really encourage you to get and download that and listen and stream it wherever you get your music. Olivia Francis has been our guest. Aww. It's so good to see your smiling face again.
You too, Dave. Thanks so much for having me. It was so great to chat with you as always.
Love you, girl. Keep it up.
You.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Connection podcast. Find us on social media at Songwriter Connection. Also, listen to Dave Lanahan's Nashville Connections radio show. It streams live every Friday morning on WOBL and WNOI. Look for us on Facebook and YouTube. See you next time on Songwriter Connection.